and really I did this wrong. And I'll show you why later, and I'll also show you what I did to change my mistake. Hey, welcome back to my channel. It's Wendy here from Toonpish Crafts, and I hope you're doing okay. Now, I've really fancied just making art, you know, just for art's sake. It doesn't happen often with me, but when I do, I've really got to get that craving out of my system. So I'm going to do an art piece that hopefully you can do yourself. I'm using water-side paper, which I've used before with some amazing results, and this time I'm going to try it slightly differently. So let's see how I get on. So this is the brand of water-side paper that I'm using. It's clear, it's not white, it's clear. It's for a laser printer, as I like using my laser printer to print, but you can get it for inkjet printers as well. Once I eventually get into the packet, I'm just showing you this is brand new. It's just A4 water slide paper, available from many places. Now, I went on to Creative Fabrica. I found a design that I really loved, and I've printed it out on my laser printer to fit the very small moulds that I'm going to be using. I'm drawing round the large coaster, whatever you want to call it. It's round. It's a round mould with a lip. And I'm drawing around it so I can cut round the water-side paper, and it should fit within the mould. Now, I only want the design on the top part of the mould, and really I did this wrong. In hindsight, I should have cut round the design rather than just cutting a circle to fit in the mould. And I'll show you why later, and I'll also show you what I did to change my mistake. So I would say, when you cut out your design, cut around your design, not just a circle, unless the whole thing is a picture. In which case, cut it as neat as you can, because you might see the effects on the front. Now, I know water slide paper is meant to be slid off the paper, okay? I get that. I understand the principle. But I always struggle to slide the designs off of the paper. I'm guessing I just had to get to grips with that, because it does stick better to a mould if you do it the right way up. I'm doing the same way as you would a tattoo. I've laid the design on the mould and I'm putting the water on the back. Now, I started by just tapping the sponge with the water on the water slide paper. I realised very quickly that wasn't enough water, and I just ended up pouring pretty much the whole mould full of water. And then I left it. I left it for about 3 minutes to really soak in. This particular water slide paper is really quite thick, so I wanted it to soak in completely. So after about 3 or 4 minutes, might even have been 5 minutes, the water slide paper was wet enough and slippery enough for me to slide it off of the design that I've printed. And that has left me with the beautiful butterfly design on the mould. Now, it's just, as I said, like a tattoo if you do it up this way. But the beauty of this is you can print whatever you want. Once I've tipped out all the water, I'm happy with how the design works. I'm just going to leave the entire thing to dry. But I do help a little bit around the lip with a tissue. Now it's all dry, this is where I start doing the outline. I'm going to use PBO lining paint. Now this is transparent. You can get black, you can get all colours, but I like using the transparent type. It looks white when you're putting it on, but it dries completely clear. As long as you leave it long enough to dry, it will dry completely clear. And I start outlining my design. I don't need this to be really perfectly straight. My hands are not as steady as they used to be when I was younger, so I'm quite happy. If it's a little bobbly, it doesn't matter. As I said, this is going to be clear when it dries, and that's very forgiving. If you do it in black, you may see if it's not quite straight or bobbly. It's a little bit of a skill to get those lines perfectly straight. But you can see by the tubes that I'm using, I do this technique quite a lot. So I'm just giving the entire design here a really straightforward outline, making sure there's no gaps, making sure that the outline is quite high. So I'm putting quite a lot of that outliner on there because I need the entire thing to have this liquid resistant barrier. By the way, picking up the design, you can see where the picture has wrinkled in places and has little lines and blemishes. Don't worry about that. Once I've done the whole thing, I do leave it to dry off for a while, and then I do exactly the same again to give it a higher barrier. I find this is much more effective than other mediums, and it works beautifully. When I've got that outline around the outside edge with 2 lines, then I go and outline some of the details in the picture that I want to be separated. Although technically I didn't actually need to do that step, but I did it anyway. So this is where I'm going to make the colour. Now, yes, I know you can print out coloured pictures on waterside paper, but I don't think the colours are as vibrant as what you could do with acrylic markers or resin. I've done this technique with resin and glitter, and I'll try and put a picture in the top left hand corner if I can find one of the zebra that I did that I really do love and is still sitting in my craft room on display because I like it that much. But I figured the acrylic markers would give it a different sort of vibrancy. So I decided to colour in the entire image with the acrylic markers. These are Let's Resin's acrylic markers, and the link for these should be in the description box below, together with a 10% discount code for Let's Resin that's available in the UK, Canada and America. Those are the only 3 I have. I do apologise for people across the other side of the world, but those are the ones I have for Let's Resin. And 10% is always really worth having, in my opinion. If you need any other discounts, I do have a full list of discounts for lots of different companies on my website, which is toonpish.com, and it's in the discount section. So this for me is the fun part, the colouring in. Now, I always enjoyed colouring in as a child. I loved colouring in books. I would spend hours colouring in. And this to me is taking me back to those childhood days where I could just sit and doodle and colour and put whatever on the page that I wanted. These acrylic markers have absolutely loads of colours in the pack. And because they're acrylic markers, they do colour really well. I'm sure that you could do this technique with felt tips, although I've never tried it. But I think the acrylic markers, whatever brand you can get hold of and use, do colour so much better than felt tip pens. I mean, if anything, felt tip pens are a bit of the past, aren't they? I would imagine acrylic markers are the future of all child's colouring, wouldn't you? I'd believe they last for a long time. You get thin nibs and fat nibs on the same pen, and the colours are extremely vibrant. What do you think? You could, of course, use resin for this, a UV resin with glitter, like I've done before. You could probably also use nail varnish. I'm even using green in this design, and you know what I feel about green. It is a dark green though, it's not a in-your-face lime green, it's quite dark, and I want that just for the leaves. I'm sorry about my head getting in the way, but I am trying to see what I do, and the camera is directly above the piece as usual. But I am really enjoying the process here. Now this is just block colours. I'm just colouring in the block of the flowers. That's why I put the barriers around the flowers. However, you don't really need to do that because colouring is colouring. As long as you keep within the lines, you're fine. But I really enjoyed the process of this, and as I was turning it over and every now and then to see what I've got, I was thinking this is going to come out really quite sweet. But there was one thing that was really annoying me, and that was the film that was left on the silicone mould outside of the design of the picture. That is why I said I really think you need to cut the picture out and not just the circle of the mould. I ended up by getting so annoyed with the crinkly effect of the clear water-side paper, I decided to cut it off. Now this did take a little while, and I was afraid that I was going to put a knife through the mould, or at least score it and make marks on it, and it actually wasn't too bad in the end. I think there was 1 or 2 little tiny marks. This is an extremely sharp blade to try and cut the film without touching the mould. And it did take me a while, but I'm so happy that I did that. Once that's all done, then I can think about resin. And I'm going to use, to start with, the white resin dye or pigment paste from the Let's Resin's coloured box of pigment pastes. And I'm also going to use Let's Resin's 2-part epoxy resin. I've mixed up a small amount of resin. I think there's only 80 ml here, and I didn't need it all. And I'm adding in the white pigment paste, which does mix into resin really easily. It is a stunning titanium white, bright white, and in fact my camera does have trouble focusing on it when it's got a black background. It tends to blur it out because it really is that bright. Once I've got my resin all mixed and the colours nicely mixed into it as well, then I can pour it into the picture area of my design. This white is going to be the background for the coloured picture, nothing else. I need white behind the picture because I have really bright colours on here that are not chameleon. So if they're not chameleon, they're going to need a white background. If I put black on here, the colours will dull down and you will not see them. So that's why I've got my lip around the design to stop this resin going anywhere other than just on the back of this coloured picture. So I'm using an acrylic stick to work that resin up to the edges. Acrylic sticks are great to use, you can wipe them off and they are good to go again. And after a little while, I've got the back completely covered in white. I do top it up just a little to get it as deep as possible within the parameters of the line paint, but then I just leave it to cure overnight. The following day I can pour the background colour. Now I'm using this little piggy's Unicorn. It's one of my favourite colours from this little piggy. Absolutely stunning blue colour with a shift that has pinks and all sorts. It is literally a unicorn colour. I'm putting a fair amount in the resin. I'm also going to add some laser paste glitter. This is something I've used before on my channel, and I know that it's not available throughout the entire world, but we can get it here in the UK and I do like it. It's adding glitter into something without the glue and it doesn't sink. It stays dissipated throughout the resin, so you get a nice glitter spread throughout your piece. And I thought that it would go well with the blue. So we got the silver glitter laser paste, as it's called, and the beautiful unicorn colour with the purples, pinks and blues. So now I can just fill up this mould, and I nearly forgot to squirt the mould with isopropyl alcohol. That really does help to reduce bubbles in 90-degree angles. Because it's then wet, air can't get trapped and you have more of a chance to have less bubbles around those angles. Without sticking your mould with sticks, without putting a micro brush, it just does the job for you. And when I remember, I do it. Because I don't always remember. You know what it's like. When I've filled the mould up, I squirt it with isopropyl alcohol and I love that colour. And I let it cure. So the following day we can demould, and I'm really excited to see this, although I do expect to have a bit of a clean up job. The mould's not too bad, it does clean up nicely, and the picture itself is really bright and vibrant, and I do love it. Now it does have issues, it has a fair amount of issues, but we can deal with that, we can sort that out. Also, the background colour is quite blotchy with the laser paste, but I actually really like how blotchy it is. I think it looks really cool. So even though it wasn't intended, I do like that as well. Now there are parts of the picture that I didn't think came out that brilliantly, and I figured I would use the acrylic markers to just add some highlights on the flowers and to spruce up the front of the picture. I know I didn't actually know if this would work because I'm drawing on resin, albeit the water slide paper that is this side and is now embedded in resin, but it is resin and I didn't know if this would work. But after trying this, I can categorically say on this occasion with the water slide paper, it worked really well. If I messed up, I didn't put the right colour on because I couldn't remember which colour was which, then I could wipe it off with a cotton bud and no harm was done. So I went around the entire picture. I spruced up all the bits that I wanted to spruce up. There was little tiny patches sometimes that hadn't picked up the black, so I coloured those in black. I made sure all the lines were nice and tight, and I coloured over where the line marker was because that hadn't picked up any colour, so then that got coloured in as well. I also added some details on the butterfly and I've really enjoyed that too, and I think it worked really well. Now with any water slide paper or tattoo, you do need to seal it in. The tattoos are stickier. This water slide paper is up the other way, so it's not sticky, but it still needs sealing in. So I've made up a very small amount of resin and I'm adding some glitter from Resin Supplies Den. Resin Supplies Den is a small Facebook group here in the UK that has lots of members that sell pretty much anything to do with resin. I'll put their link in the description box below. They do have a lot of international members now, so go and check out Resin Supplies Den on Facebook. So I've added a very, very small amount of extremely fine holographic glitter just to spruce up and give it a little sparkle on the front. That's all I want it for, but it is a very small amount. So I cover the image, I spray it with isopropyl alcohol and I leave it to cure. And the following day, I can add my final touch with some writing that I've cut on my X-Tool M1. This is cut from white shiny vinyl and you can do it on a Cricut or on any cutting device that you have, I would imagine. Cricuts are most popular, but I do use my X-Tool M1 Ultra. And I really like the updates to the M1 because now I can do joined writing really easily. And as I think you really need to keep smiling until summer gets here because it's on its way. The rain is easing up, the sunshine is coming out occasionally, and we all need a bit of sunshine in our life, don't we? I really enjoyed making this piece and I love how it's turned out. That top coat definitely finishes the piece off. It smooths the whole picture out. Even any imperfections in that water slide paper just get smoothed out with a top coat. And I really love how this has turned out. I hope you've enjoyed watching it too. So bring a little bit of colour into your life and look forward to those sunny days. Have a great week crafting. Come back and see me next week because you never know what I'm going to be up to. I never know what I'm going to be up to. Have a great week. Happy crafting and bye for now.